Hey everyone, my name is Lizzie, and today we'll be talking about what happened to juice that we transformed into alcohol. So first, let's talk about the preservatives. When I did my alcohol from Coke, I saw that Coke has sodium benzoate, it had potassium benzoate, and potassium sorbate. And those were the three ingredients that I was avoiding when choosing juice. I looked through all the aisles of Walmart and I couldn't find any juice that was 100% juice. They all had some weirdness going on in the ingredients. So I ended up with some apple juice, and the two ingredients that I didn't recognize were malic acid and ascorbic acid. So what are those? Those are preservatives. Surprise. And those preservatives, I thought that it was going to act against the yeast, but it turns out that the levels of malic acid decrease during fermentation, and ascorbic acid do not affect fermentation. So perfect. My wash made of juice is fermenting so far. It's bubbling and the gravity has changed since the beginning. So far, so good. Therefore, I would suggest if ever you want to make alcohol from a sort of liquid, mainly to avoid sodium benzoate because that is the most inhibiting factor to yeast. So just for fun, I looked at a list of food that had the most preservatives in it, and the three liquids with the most preservatives in it included wine, juice, and sodas. And I've tried to make alcohol from sodas and juice. Therefore, it's not looking good, but I can confirm that juice is definitely a better base to use to make alcohol because the fermentation actually happens. I would avoid soft drinks in the future to make alcohol, but fruit juices, the reason I would recommend it is that the preservatives inside the fruit juice are less harmful to yeast. So to avoid all this trial and error, what you can do, you can book a class with me below. And you don't have to worry about the ingredients. You don't have to worry about the type of yeast. Everything will be set step by step for you, and you'll be able to make your alcohol from scratch with me in one of my classes below. So you can book, it's in the description. And if you want to save money, if you want to avoid buying alcohol because inflation is high and you want to make it from home, this is a great opportunity for you to learn and to be able to make alcohol with simple ingredients. Ingredients such as sugar, yeast, water. It's ingredients that you have in your pantry and that are inexpensive. When we talk about fruit juice, I would suggest squeezing fruits because you have no preservatives. You just squeeze the fruit that you like, although I would avoid too acidic fruits like lemon because I've tried this in the past and the pH dropped to below 3. And that affected the yeast as well. So I had to increase the pH by adding baking soda, potassium sorbate, and it just didn't taste good at the end. I looked at fruits that had a pH range of around 5.2 being the optimal pH levels for fermentation. And the fruits that have a pH at around 5 include watermelon at 5.39 pH. We have yellow bananas at 5.15 pH. Ripe mangoes, which are 5.90, so it's almost at 6 pH, but it's still in the 5s. And we also have papaya at 5.60 pH. So if you'd like to make alcohol from these fruits, note that the pH is near the optimal fermenting levels. And honestly, mango alcohol or watermelon alcohol sounds delicious, so I wouldn't see why not. And I'd like to know, what fruit would you prefer out of these four? Drop a comment below and let me know, are you more of a papaya alcohol person or are you more of a mango alcohol person? Be interested to know. And the third thing I have to talk about when we're talking about alcohol made from juice is flavoring. If we use apple juice, for example, though in my case, since I use apple juice, just to let you know, the alcohol will not taste like apple juice. There will be a hint of apple juice in the back. It'll be a sort of character that you have in the back end of your alcohol. This is because when the apple juice becomes fermented, the sugar from the apple juice is going to be eaten by the yeast and it'll transform the whole thing into alcohol. So the flavor will tend to disappear as the fermentation process goes along. My solution to have stronger flavor is to flavor after the fermentation process. So this is when you're bottling your alcohol. So it's in a jar, and in my opinion, I prefer extracts because the flavor is there. It's really going to taste like apple or vanilla, whichever extracts you have. And it won't be just at the back of your tongue. I've actually tried to chop apples and put the apples inside the finished jar. And to be honest, the taste was bad. It tasted like expired apples. because after a while the apples become brown, and that's what it tasted like, brown apples. Therefore, I would not suggest chopping fruits and putting it inside your finished jar. What some people do, they put fruits in a tea bag and they cover it on top of the liquid. It doesn't touch the liquid, and the aromas of these fruits will linger around the liquid and it'll influence the flavors. This does not give as much flavors as extracts. It will also give you a character in the back end. It depends if you'd rather have alcohol that's poignant, really apple flavor, for example, or if you'd rather have something on the back end. You have these two options, so either the extracts or you can hang fruit in a tea bag. Honestly, in terms of flavoring, I'd also like to add that food coloring. So I tried to make my alcohol red. And next time I will add the color after the fermentation is done, because right now we have the fermenting jar and we have a rim of red food coloring at the bottom. So I'd rather add this at the end once the alcohol is made to make sure that the colors are well infused in the alcohol. So if you found this video valuable, share with a friend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.